Hello and welcome to a custom map cast. We have Talisman who insta-locks Urban Defense. Hell yeah, I was actually just talking about. I hope that he locks it in, but Urban Defense it is. He's running the increased snare range by 7% in the southeast end of Sidolio's map, made with yours truly, Trick_TV. He's also running the 2% increased faster reload and faster between shots, and then the 4% increased pen on the T-3476. Up in the northeast, we have Jae4Jett on OKW, running Scavenge Doctrine, Elite Armor, and Special Operations. No commander lock-in yet for him, with the less received suppression by 10% on his Volks Grenadiers, 3% increased accuracy on them as well, and the 7% cost reduction on the munitions ability for Stern Pioneers, the medical supplies. And let's see what happens. He's going into special rifle. Really? Okay. Very interesting. He's going to clown car abuse Jae4Jett. But for those of you who do not know the map from the previous season of the Seasonal Map Cup, we have a cutoff and a cutoff for the northeast base, mirrored in the southwest. Secondary, with a fuel in the corner, so to speak, and another one all the way out in the other corner, with the munitions relatively safely outside the base, and the munitions right down the middle, with the split between the road and the river, or the little stream. Kubel rolls up and finds some penals and takes a huge chunk of damage while I was talking about that, but it looks like the Kubel will just back off, doesn't want anything to do with this. And the clown car, is it headed right on over for it? Yes, it is. That Kubel might be very short-lived, and by might be, it definitely is, as he's trying to repair it with these Stern Pioneers. He's hopping the penals into this. He's going to cap up his munitions and then go on the hunt for the Kubel. And while we got a little bit of downtime, check it out. Cool little waterfall. Wow. Nice little thing that most people don't get to see. And there it is. The clown car is headed right into it. Drops 2 models on the closing of that distance on the Stern Pioneers. And the Kubel trying to get the hell out of here. And I don't think it's going to. That clown car going to find it no problem. Is it quick enough? Are the Stern Pioneers going to block up the Kubel? The Kubel weaving through these trees. The clown car not going to be able to get it. It's going to get safely back into base. Is he going to go for this all the way? No, he's not. But he's going to go ahead and take off that cutoff. So he's going to lose the territory point, the fuel outside of the 1 point that he is capping up. Meanwhile, in the south, we do have Jae4Jett getting that fuel in the southeast, however, and the Volks coming in. And he actually cancels the 3rd Volk squad and goes into the truck instead. So I wonder if this is going to be battle group or mechanized for Jae4Jett. What's really interesting with his clown car is that he's not grabbing up this cutoff, as he's more than free to be able to do so. Penals and clown car roll into the Volks Grenadiers, and there's no snare available yet. 2 models dropped already, and he just retreats, and wisely so. Satchel thrown. Oh, is he gonna blow up his own clown car? He got the house. But he might have done a little bit of self-damage there. Okay, a little bit of a miscalculation, we'll say, from Talisman. And it looks like it is indeed mechanized for Jae4Jett. He's trying to bully down this clown car. He really wanted to be cheeky about that, I guess. I mean, the clown car has more than enough armor for the small arm farmer, and the health there. The Volks won't be able to pick it up. The penals will secure that. But he got his man. That house, it said horrible things about Talisman's mother, and it just had to go. So Talisman throws a satchel charge at it and takes it out. Penals defending against a Kubel in the northwest. Doing so successfully, he pops in the stormtroopers even here for Jae4Jett. So excuse me, not stormtroopers, the JLI, the Jaeger Light Infantry. So Scavenge Doctrine now the choice for Jae4Jett. Interesting. This is really good because they come with a nice nifty little ability. The demo on points, the penals are out of there with the Volks and the JLIs. I wonder if he's going to be able to utilize that booby trap at all. He's getting the recon package, the G43s on him, so they'll get that little bit more accuracy on the move and potentially pick up wipes on squads that are low, like that penal squad that's retreating on out. But that's enough information for Talisman to know that his opponent is into Scavenge. Now, we'll see if he goes into the OKW Ostwind, as it does come out about 2.5 to 3 minutes earlier, depending for Tier 4. But he is into Mechanized, so I assume that that will not be the case. It's just going to be a P2. Shoe Mine being built somewhere. Yeah, right outside the VP. While the Clown Car now with the Combat Engineers and the ROKS-3 trying to toast up these Volks. Is he throwing the snare? He is. So the snare will come out and cover the retreat path, but they drop 3 models, potentially even 4 with that last flame burst, but it is not enough. And now with the Combat Engineers inside of that, he will go ahead and repair that up. Kubel going onto the munitions, and then the cutoff. Stern Pioneers man fighting the Penals with the Kubel here behind him. The M42 is called in, the little 45mm anti-tank gun, but he takes the cutoff, so the munitions and the fuel that was already disconnected both ways. He takes both cutoffs. The Kubel will drive on and away after taking a little bit of damage for the Penals, but he loses both. So a lot of time being dedicated to recapping this territory to get those points under his control, but the M42 is out and will help deter the Kubel, and it will also help deter the P2. MG43 being built and then canceled for Jae4Jett. Interesting. Bankai rolls up onto the JLIs, but here's a Volk squad around the site blocker trying to throw the Faust, and Talisman looking for the push, not getting it. Now he'll be able to fire into this. And I like the positioning here. He's getting the damage off the back and the front of this Clown Car and doing very well with it. P2 now being built. That's what the Volk Grenadier squad was canceled for. And the JLI is way overstaying their welcome. The next burst could be a wipe, and he retreats. Kubel rolling up, gets the kill on the Clown Car. Can the Kubel get out of here? The little bit of speed boost from the road, but the Combat Engineers do get the kill. But it's not every day that you see a Kubel take out the M3A1. Unbelievable. And another set of JLI is called in over on the west. He hops into the building against these Penals again. Now, is he upgrading the G43s? No, he is not. So he's just delaying here. And it looks like Jae4Jett's going to get that fuel under control. He did get his cutoff, however, taken again. So munitions and fuel taken away and actually capped all the way through. So the Volks are going to have to stand here and waste a little bit of more time gaining up that territory. The M42 rolling forward along with a Penal squad, but the P2 is out. It's going to roll right outside of this. M42's on the canister shots, I believe, and it is. He's trying to bully these, Volks off, and not doing so successfully. He's gonna really wish he had it on armor piercing here in a second. And it looks like that M42 is destined to die. Oh yeah, he's switching it to armor piercing now, but yeah, that's a dead M42 if I ever saw one. Baby AT gun never will reach maturity and turn into a Zis magically. Not that that actually happens, but we'll pretend for the sake of what I'm saying. The M42 goes down. P2 picks it up handedly. Volks Grenadiers with 4 models left, looking like they're going to go ahead and steal this. And Penals retreating on by are going to see it get stolen. And they're going to try and deal a little bit more damage onto this Penal squad. P2 doing so successfully. 2 models dropped. And there he goes. He steals the M42. Do we have the Tier 3 being built? We do, but it's... A lot has been done. That cheeky canister shot usage of the M42 biting Talisman strictly in the rear end, in the posterior, and another JLI squad called in. He just keeps popping them into these buildings and fighting these Penals, and the Penals running on and away, again being chased down by the P2. Now, despite all of this, Talisman is a whole 3 fuel away from a T-70, so it's not all lost yet, but he's taken quite an astronomical loss in manpower. Clown Car going down was huge, and it traded for the Kubel, so it's offset a little bit. But losing the M42 and then having it taken by his opponent is not something you want to see. And this forces him to go to the PTRSs on the Penals, which infinitely nerfs their anti-infantry effectiveness. PTRS Penals do find a shot into the side and or rear armor of that P2, but the P2 just retaliates by sitting there and firing shots, volleys, right back into him. Volks Grenadiers moving up, trying to engage the Penals around the site blocker. More Penals moving up now. Stern Pioneers repairing up the P2 for that little bit of damage for the PTRS. JLI's getting onto the cutoff. There's the incendiary. Oh, excuse me, that was the infiltration nade from the Volks. Or was that the Model 24? No, infiltration. I thought for a second there that maybe he had Model 24s from the cooldown icon. But there's the T-70. That should be a dead Volk squad. Oh, I really wish he would have chased that squad down. He needs to get a wipe, but he's opting to go for the P2. P2 taking a ton of damage. Where's that Raketin, though? Right on the retreat path to the P2. So that T-70 is not even going to get this kill. Now the P2 is opting to fight back, even though it's with its rear armor. So he does get it on and away. The Raketin gets... Excuse me, that's not the Raketin. That is the M42. Why did that look cloaked? My eyes must be going bad, but the M42, stolen M42, is what deters that. T-70 backs on away, and another M42 called in for Talisman. He has no fuel income yet. Oh, it can cloak. I thought maybe it would lose this when it was recrewed, but no, it does not. It keeps the cloak. Today I learned on the widely unused unit that the M42 is actually cloakable even after being stolen. Interesting. So it's like a better version of the Raketin now. PTRS Penal Squad trying desperately to defend against these Volks, and the G43 JLIs drops a PTRS for their time. Here, you need some anti... Oh, and then they get wiped and drop another one. Oh, hey, did you need some anti-tank? I have some for you. Calls in shocks is the solution to that. M42 caught up by the ROKS3 squad, but it's firing directly into the T-70. And while that was going on, another Penal Squad died on retreat. He did manage to get it with the P2, it looks like. P2 driving right in. T-70 hoping to defend this. Shocks taking a ton of damage. 600 manpower just from those two penals gone outside of the upgrade for the PTRS. Now we have double PTRS Stern Pioneers. P2 firing into the shocks. The M42 finds a shot across the stream here. Second shot does not hit the mark. Despite all of this... Oh, infiltration nades. Blind infiltration nades from the JLIs. Trying to get those penals. Penals, can they get it? They do get the fuel in time. Throw a satchel for the, the farewell gift and retreat on out of there. Meanwhile, the M42 rolls forward. The P2 going all the way back home. It's going to try and cap this territory point. There's Volks here to defend this. And the Tier 4 is being produced for Jae4Jett now. T-70 finds those GLIs, but not before they soft decap that fuel. Unfortunate for Talisman. Doesn't get any model drops on that chase either. Salvage on the old M3A1, the clown car. Shock troops closing the distance, infiltration nades thrown down, and that grouping on that last set, that damage on those shocks, that was seriously unlucky from Talisman. These models are 31 manpower, if I'm not mistaken, per model on those shocks, and they're retreating through G43 JLIs. Oh man, that was really unfortunate. T-70 rolling up. Getting some good damage, but not getting the models again. P2 Vet 2 runs into the M42 and the T-70. God, those shocks. Yeah, 30 manpower per model. So it's basically Stern Pioneer Squad for each model dropped. Oh, that is not something he could afford to have happen right now. And another set of shocks. What is happening? Oh. They're 360 manpower a pop. Oy vey. Well, if he didn't have manpower bleed problems before with the penals, he certainly will now with the shocks. T-70 trying to get the wipe on that squad, but the stolen M42 shooting all the way across the map, finding two connections, sitting behind these sight blockers. He's going to have to utilize an attack round to find the shot, and he does, and he hits it! So the T-70 will roll down the road and on and away. Second attack round, way off the money. Meanwhile, in the southeast, Penals working their way around. Two sets of, or excuse me, a Volk squad and a JLI squad here. Shock's moving up to contest this. JLI's hanging up in the cloak. We'll fire some volleys into the Shocks as they get close. This should be infiltration. Nope. So this will be a retreated squad. Yeah, it's too late to react. Penal squad trying to buy time. But with the VP being taken and the JLIs in the background just dealing extra damage, he will get out of there. T-70's just on constant repair duty. Another M42 called in. But soon the Panzer IV is going to be out. Oh, he went battle group. What? The reverse throw from Jae4Jett. Not going into tier 4. And then loses a JLI squad to the Shocks. That's a good pickup for Talisman here. Shocks, however, in some danger of going down themselves with the P2 terrorizing them. Last shot does drop a model. Shocks again finding some Volksgrenadiers. This time no infiltration nades. So there's no unlucky RNG decimating the squad. P2 rolls up into an M42, and there's two here now. He's going to try and circle strafe the one and be greedy about this, but the second one in the background, this might be a dead P2. He has to retreat through this. The stolen M42, firing a shot into the T-70, getting it, but the P2 goes down. So he was very greedy, loses his P2, loses the JLI squad, and there's the truck for the tier 4. He might be wholeheartedly regretting this battle group. He thought he was very far ahead, and he was, but he just basically equalized the lead. Talisman now has a chance to come back. The problem is the VPs, 209 to 454 in favor of Jae4Jett. MG34 now being built for Jae4Jett. Shocks not interested in engaging those Volks. They go to threaten it and go back onto the fuel. JLIs capping the west. Penal's firing some shots into those JLIs. Vet 2 now. Those G43. T-70 rolls up into the stolen M42. Where is this SWS truck thinking about going? I think he might have wanted to set it up on his cutoff in this area here. Stolen M42 dealing a ton of damage. The range on this thing is ridiculous. He is really lucky that attack round did not kill him. Talisman trying to way overstay his welcome. Vet 3 stolen M42 just drops. But he's very, very lucky that that M42 attack round from Jae4Jett did not connect. Where's that tier 4 being placed at? Oh, wow. All the way over here. Okay. Meanwhile, the Penal's trying to, delay this as long as possible. I'm surprised he didn't throw a satchel on that just to keep it away from his opponent, but not opting to do so. Shocks retreating from the SGG Volks. Another M42 called in. Okay. It's a party. Now, if he scouts out this tier 4, he could take all the M42s over there. SGG Volks changing hands in the east, and then again the Shocks taking the fuel in the west. E70 being repaired up. Tier 4 down. He could just be... Is he just KT rushing against the M42 spam? And not even going to bother with a Panzer IV? He might be. Is Jae4Jett going full memes right now? He has all 3 trucks down. He could just save directly into the KT. T-70 finally deleting the sandbags, so now it will be free to connect actually onto the Volks. Drops 1 model. ROKS3 tries to torch him up a little bit. T-70 drops 2 with 1 shell there. M42 is here. He's going to look to circle strafe it, but there's a Volk squad, so he has to be worried about the snares, and he'll back away. M42 picks up, does not get the next shot. Is he going to go for the attack round? He does, but it looks like neither of them go. T-70 even attack rounding, trying to get some damage on these Volks, and gets a little bit. Our RKS-3 squad's going to try and toast them up. T-70 still trying to help, while the M42 tries to shoot through the Grove and this house. And there's the infiltration nade. Only 1 model came out before he issued a move command. However, MG34 kind of hanging out in limbo for Jae4Jett on the far west end. Now on the secondary cutoff for the fuel where the JLIs are at, but both fuels going the way of Jae4Jett again. Combat engineers being built by Talisman. He wants more repairs and maybe another squad for hazard removal, while also potentially having a squad to build his tier 4 up. If he can start producing T-3476s and keep them alive long enough to amass a good amount of them, he should be in a good spot. Obersoldaten also being built for Jae4Jett. A lot of elite anti-infantry on the field for Jae4Jett. I'm really starting to wonder, with the lack of building, he has so much fuel with the lack of building tier 4, I wonder if both players are memeing and we're going to see a KV2 versus a KT. He's only like an eighth of a, or maybe a tenth of a CP away from having the KV2 available. He still needs an assload of manpower, but he has plenty of fuel for it. These canister shots from the... What just happened? There we go. That was weird. I've never had that happen before. It is losing its mind. There it goes. My apologies, but I tried to click on the M4 too. But yeah, he has it available to him now. The canister shots, as I was going to say, dealing a ton of damage to the infantry, just taking pot shots as they go along. Competent engineers trying to build that TM35. Woo! Man, these M42s in large numbers, I guess 3 would be large. They're quite devastating if you can get nice stagnant engagements. These canister shots are not a joke. Currently just throwing high projectile rocks at one another. Looks like one of the M42s is going to go down. Obersoldaten moving up, and there it goes. T-70 trying to bleed on these Obersoldaten. Not getting any of the connections. The double PTRS Stern Pioneer squad from the double gift of that penal squad, and it is the KV2 for Talisman. All right. Okay, directly into the KV2. Let's see who can throw the biggest rock. Especially when it enters siege mode, it's going to be ridiculous. There's the first shot into the Grove. The M42 actually pens. Not the second time, however. T-70 is going to push those Obersoldaten off that cutoff. Now, he did lose his munitions and his fuel with this. Up in the north, we do have the Shocks trying to fight off 3 squads. This KV2... Not every day you see a KV2 in 1v1. Shocks on the east get the Volks to retreat across that negative cover road, taking a good chunk of damage. And is the KV2 just looking to set up here? The firing positions, excuse me, I said siege mode. Is he actually winning the engagement against 3 squads with these Shocks? Throws a smoke nade. Infiltrations, the retaliation? No, he already used them. Shock's getting nice and close, hanging out inside of this. JLI is cloaked up, though. And he throws a nade and then retreats. Drops a model of his own, but... 3v2, he picks it up. MG34 is found out. He's going to see this tier 4, but the KT is about a minute away for Jae4Jett. Rolls forward. That movement speed bonus from the road. And he gets the neutralization and then retreats. Doesn't want to have to deal with that KV2's AoE. And honestly, this KV2, the longer it stays alive, it gives more... Ooh, that retreat path mine. Very nice. Nice shoe mine. Picks up some more models on the Shocks, but it gives him more time to tech into tier 4 and potentially fight into the KT that I am now positive is coming. T-70 trying to take an engagement against the LMG Obersoldaten. Still not Vet 1. Not even close, as a matter of fact. Cloaked up M42, stolen M42. Fires the shot to the sidearm of the T-70. T-70 will back off a little bit. Man, that thing fires quick. It's another shot, tack round off the mark, but here's the KV2, and that's not what you want to see. However, this has taken enough damage to potentially be snared here and have a damaged engine. Is it enough? It is not. M42 goes down. Penals fighting into JLI, and Volks Grenadiers with an MG34 firing into him. Talisman needs to retreat this squad. He throws the satchel down as a farewell gift again. The M42s firing their canister shots, trying desperately, while the KV-2 backs up, lobbing huge explosives at all of this infantry. And this KV-2 is actually insanely strong because all of this infantry from Jae4Jett requires so much manpower to reinforce. Looks like the T-70 barely got away from that M42. Now it's just the wait for the KT. Yeah. He's not... oh, he did reinforce. Never mind. But the problem still for this, despite before the KT comes out, is the VPs. Currently, Talisman only able to control one. Shocks and Penals roll forward into an MG34. It's in firing position. Look at how far this can shoot. All the way up and through. Shock nade throws down the smoke. Oh my! Oh, I thought that Ober squad was dead. Those infiltration nades through the smoke, however, and there's the KT. The big cat is out. We're ready to go. Headed right for the other big threat, the KV-2. But if he wants to be defensive, the KV-2 will definitely help him do that. The problem is, I don't think the KV-2 can really win a man fight in any realm of possibility against a KT. But he did lose a model on, or a squad on retreat. So one Volk squad down. I believe it was the Vet 4 Volk squad, and there's the KT shot right into the Penal squad. He has one whole model left. Does he get out of there? He does. He retreats. Does he make it though? He does. M42 finds the shot. Another M42 finds the shot. How are these penning? KV-2 repairing up. Got its damaged engine off, and there's a KV-2 now aiming. Another squad lost. The other Volk squad, Vet 5 for Jae4Jett. To, I believe, the T-70 up in the west. It is snared up. KV-2 trying desperately. KT finds a shot. Look at that damage, yeah. Made out of paper on that rear armor on the KV-2. And he's setting it up. He's in firing positions. He can fire as far as he wants. He can actually see the VP from here, I think, and he can. If he leads these with attack rounds appropriately, he can find some nice shots on this. And there goes one rock thrown. Not quite on the money, however. Look at that firing range. Man, it's so good. Jocks find the KT. Throw down the smoke just to try and cap up this munitions. But he still can't get control of this VP. Talisman slotted to tick down below 100 here in a moment. 116 to 397 in favor of Jae4Jett. Obersadan do not want to engage a KV-2. Lucky they did not drop models there. Just about 55-60% HP. KT almost full health though. Vet 1 now. Vet 2 is when it gets real nasty. Increased range, and it's significant. It's like 15 meters increase, which instead of being able to fire to here, it's able to fire to here. And in firing mode, it already shoots far enough. In 1v1, it sees like 70% of the map. Oh man, that rock being lobbed all the way over into those JLIs. Lucky to survive. Another M42 pen onto the KT. KV-2 shoots, doesn't pen. KV-2 can't pen the KT, but the M42s can. Why, yes, this totally makes sense. T-70 flanks around the side, finds the M42. The Stern Pioneers hurting from this. KT taking a ton of damage from these M42s, man. The KV-2's just here for show against that KT. And now a Raketin, an actual penning tool for Jae4Jett. Moon craters everywhere, courtesy of the KV2 from Talisman. And he did get into tier 4, and he's going in SU-85. And I 100% agree with this choice. I talked about T-3476 spam earlier, but this is going to be very strong for protecting this KV2. And he's just content sitting here. Yes, walk at me. I dare you. Please, walk into my KV2. So he's holding the middle VP and the southeast VP with the KV2 parked here. At 109 VPs now. And the long, arduous, uphill battle for Talisman now proceeds as he has to drop 370 VPs off Jae4Jett before he wins this game from VP count. KT looking for a cheeky flank. It has Vet 1. Could use the Blitzkrieg tactics. Combat Blitz. M42's firing into it again. 3 of them going as hard as they can. I'm really surprised he hasn't built a forward HQ reinforcement spot here for the M42s just to reinforce from this. Nice side shot armor the Raketin shows and fires into it. But look at all this damage. And here's the SU-85. And gets it out of there. I believe the combat engineers can build... Woo! Oh, he's lucky that attack round didn't hit. And there's the combat blitz. KT trying to blow up its engine. SU-85 interested in maybe trying to find it, but the PTRS Stern Pioneers and not wanting to overextend will get it. But the combat engineers can build up a little old forward HQ that I believe he can reinforce from, at least get squad heals from. I'm surprised he hasn't utilized it yet. It does cost 25 fuel, 200 manpower, if I'm not mistaken. But the M42... I believe in one of them would never feel this effective. It's the fact that he has 3. I feel like even 2 would not be enough. But 3 of them, it seems to be overperforming, but it's 600 manpower and AT guns. And hey, there he is. He's building the field camp, so he's going for it now. The Raketin in trouble here. The canister shots. Can he pick it up? T-70, and there goes the Raketin. So there it is. The inspiration too. The rally defense is just like the old urban defense, the manual building. Oh, he dropped a PTRS again. This KV2 man is just eating Jae4Jett's army for lunch. 19 kills, all infantry. This T-70 also being alive. 36, 1 vehicle and 35 infantry. But this KV2, it's almost Vet 2, and then it becomes even worse. It's going to be impossible to push into this. He has to try and play the sneaky game of I need to cap VPs and bleed my opponent, but I think what Jae4Jett needs to do is that his opponent is wholeheartedly committed to just relaxing and playing defensively. And he's not in the reinforced range. He needs to back this M42 away. One of the M42s does go down. The Raketin goes down along with it. Excuse me. The M42 was not the one. M42 for Jae4Jett was not recruited. But yeah, I think he just needs to buy time and start building into Panzer IVs. A Panzer IV here could really help him, to be honest, as it would be able to get around in behind the SU-85. Look at all these mines. Oh my, a literal minefield. 1, 2, 3, 4. Covering that flank just fine. More mines. Oh, hey, I have 330 munitions. Maybe I'll just shift Q mines everywhere. And that's exactly what he's doing. Meanwhile, the KV2 is just attack grounding, trying to find any squad he can. It's Vet 2 now. He's probably trying to drop this house, to be honest. There's another Raketin. There it goes. KV2 doesn't like that shed in particular. Vet 2 KV2 and 1v1. Insane. I do believe it can fire all the way to here now. Shocks. Trying to cap up the VP in the northwest. MG34 and Vet 4 JLIs. Trying to contest this. The tier 4 sadly does not see right to where he was. Infiltration nades thrown down through the smoke, trying to find the shocks while they're crawling around, but are not able to do so. Raketin trying to be sneaky and cap on that middle VP, but the KV2 is just gonna throw hate over at it, and he just gifted 2 Raketins to Talisman, and it looks like Talisman is stabilized. Now we just have to see how Jae4Jett bounces back into this game at all. He's so far behind in just army supply now. And that's with OKW army supply. SU-85, find some Obersoldaten. Is he using the... I'm really surprised he's not using the focus sight. Well, he has the T-70 for recon mode. I believe its Vet 2 sight range was nerfed a bit, but still might be enough for the KV-2 just to fire willy-nilly from all the way in the background. Five AT guns now for Talisman. KT lumbering back onto the front battle lines. And that's one way to lose your T-70, on top of your own TM-35 mine. The T-70 explodes. KT finds a shot and the mine, and it all went wrong all at once for the T-70. But that makes enough room for a T-34-76, so... Lost another JLI squad. I think he lost his Vet 5 one. I think it might have been Vet 5. It was at least Vet 4. KT in a dream's got 22 kills, but how is he ever going to push into this? I'll never know. Could have also been just wipes from the 3 million mines that Talisman has placed down. And he has plenty of room for more, if he so desires. I'm surprised he's not booby-trapping a bunch of territory, to be completely honest. Just in case. More mines going down. You are... Talisman has said, this is my home now. You will never supplant me from this area, no matter how much you want to with the KT. Nice awareness that he knew that squad was hanging out here. He's been baited by that a few times, and he attack rounds through the grove for it. I don't think anything Jae4Jett will do any good for him. Even this Panther, it just won't be enough. There are too many mines. And double Raketin is what he has to fight into as well. T-34-76 here to harass and bully any infantry that may go for anything. AT finds a shot. Farming Vet still. Is he gonna... I'm surprised he didn't ram that there. Instead, he's just gonna try and circle strafe this. SU-85 moving over. All the AT guns move over. And he's looking for it. The KT getting bullied. Oh my god! The main gun down high. Hi, I have 5 AT guns. Yes, you might have picked up my T-34-76, and I might have thrown down the 105mm howitzer barrage, but it takes 12 centuries to actually come down. And all it's gonna do is clear up some mines on the road. Almost hits a Raketin, and Jae4Jett calls it. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that. How close is the Vet 3? Not that close, but absolutely ridiculous. This KV2 put him back in the game. That T-70 ripped him apart, too. That KT just felt like it was made out of paper mache, wet paper mache the whole time. But... not to take anything away from Talisman, he played that really well, being so far behind, and Jae4Jett played it really well as well. Interesting that he decided that the JLIs were the way to go, as I typically, they just feel very, very bad, but he used them very well. Obersoldaten too, but so much elite anti-infantry can't do anything against the KV2, but either way, fantastic, fun game. And for those of you on the rerun or on YouTube, hope you enjoyed the cast.